Welcome to the Bridging the Generation podcast. I'm your host, Malak Arif. Today, got another special treat for y'all. My next guest is known for hits such as Everything's Gonna Be All Right, I'll Do For You, Treat Them Like They Want to Be Treated, Lisa Baby, One Night Stand, 69. I mean, the list goes on. He's a former platinum recording artist with the legendary Uptown Records, who's introduced artists such as Mary J. Blige, Heavy D and the Boys, Kenny Green and Intro, Jodeci. I mean, the list goes on and on. So with all that said, it's an honor, it's a pleasure to introduce to the Bridging the Generation podcast, the one, the only, Father MC. Let's go. Let's go. First off, man, I want to thank you for blessing the podcast, man, with your presence, man. Words cannot explain how much you have meant to me and how much you have meant to the culture, man, for all the things that you have done in the music industry, brother.
Thank you, man. Thanks a lot, man.
No doubt, no doubt. So look, like I said, brother, I want to start from the beginning, man. I want to know, how did Mr. Brown come to be Father MC, come to be the legend, the myth that we all know and love, man? So I want to take it back, brother. Let's go back, man. First of all, how did you get that name, man? Like, I remember when you came out, and that always stood out to me.
I went to junior high school, graduated in Queens because, I had to leave Brooklyn, and my mom's, my name was Timmy T. So then I went to high school, but I went to summer school that year. And I named my father. I named it Father MC. But then that's when the 5%ers was going crazy. Could y'all hold on 1 second here? Let me just take this.
It's all good, brother.
I got pardon me 1 second.
Nah, go ahead. I'm gonna edit all this.
Okay, let me put my shit on because my shit gonna be going crazy. Yeah. So anyway, I went to summer school, and the teacher it was the 5% Nation, and the teacher, the cooking teacher, Miss Lewis, I won't never forget. She called me father all summer. So then when I'll never forget, we was in the hallway, and all the guards was like building. They was building on the side, and I'm walking past, and all I hear is father, and it's my teacher. And she said in front of all 5%ers. Next thing you know, I'm like, oh shit. So all 5%ers came to me. It's like, oh, peace, God, peace, like surrounding me. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. Next thing you know, I said, listen, man, I'm from Brooklyn, and this shit is new to me, and I'm here. And they said, how you understand today's mathematics? And then they saw that I wasn't that kid. You know what I'm saying? They knew I wasn't that dude because I was bad in high school, man. I was cool, but I was bad. That's why I got kicked out of Brooklyn. So they respected the game because they knew I wasn't a part of that. You know what I mean? And the way my demeanor was carried at that time, I was a ladies dude, man. I was women. So they knew it wasn't, I ain't want no smoke, and they ain't want no smoke either. So they just let that be. And then out of nowhere, everything was cool. So I say, yo, father. And then there was this one 5%, he had a
hold on, brother. Hold on, brother. The sound, like you kind of going in and out, is a way that you could probably move a little closer to the mic or to the laptop. It's kind of, the sound is kind of going out. You telling me a very great story.
Is that it, or is it?
There we go. That sound like a little better. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. It was just going out. Let's try again from.
Okay, take it back. All right. Let me see. What was I? Oh, so everybody was cool with it. So then this 1 5%, he had a problem with it. So me and him handled out. We just knuckle game. I handled my business, and then I ain't never have a beef with it after that.
Right. Okay, no doubt. So I noticed you said you from Brooklyn. So what part of Brooklyn you from?
I was from Flatbush, Vanderveer.
Flatbush. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So growing up in Brooklyn, man, during the 1970s, man, you basically saw the genesis of hip hop, man. What was that like, and how did that influence you?
Man, it was crazy. And then when I heard Rapper's Delight and King Tim III, I was like, yo, these cats getting paid for this shit? I don't have to do nothing crazy. This is my thing. And I knew it was my thing. So, like I said, I was a knucklehead. And, I was dibbling and dabbling with the rap thing. And then when I got kicked out of Brooklyn, I had nothing else. Moving to Far Rockaway, it was just me in the crib. So I just picked up a pen and started really, getting into it. And then when I went to high school, I really started getting into it. And then after I graduated, I was working at KFC. So everybody will tell you when I worked at Kentucky Fried Chicken, I always was writing rhymes like at work, like just writing. So going to the studio, stayed in the studio, just doing my thing,
Yeah. Okay, that's what's up, man. So what was some of your influences outside of hip hop? Because again, you from another generation, brother, and hip hop, came a little is one of the newest musical genres. So was you ever into any other types of music outside of hip hop?
No, you want to know what's crazy? I was into law. I was into like wanting to be a lawyer. That's the crazy part. I really wanted to be an attorney. Like I wanted to always like debate with somebody to try to help the innocent get off, or even the guilty guys get off. I always wanted that.
Yeah, if you come a little closer to, like, I don't know what's going on. It's like when you fall away, man, the sound is just it sounds crazy, brother.
Okay.
Yeah, man. When you I hate to have you. I want you to be comfortable with it.
You good?
The sound is just crazy.
No worries.
Yeah. So you were saying that you wanted to be a lawyer, man. So Mr. Brown wanted to be a lawyer. That's crazy. What you used to watch a lot of Ironside or what?
I used to watch Hill Street Blues back in the day. Hill Street Blues. Just all of those shows, man. But then the rap.
That's the joint. Well, hold on. That's the joint with Denzel, right?
Hill Street Blues?
No. That's the joint with what's the chick from the blonde chick, man, that was real popular.
Yeah, beautiful chick too. Yeah.
The name it skips my mind. Heather Locklear.
I don't remember. Yeah, Heather Locklear. She probably was. I never knew the stars. I just liked the show.
Yeah. She was on that joint, man. So all right, let's fast forward, man. So all right, here you is, man. You getting, if you said I heard you mention King Tim III, and that's the Fatback Band. So I'm trying to figure out. You're a little older than me, and a lot of people say that
you knew it.
A lot of people say, man, that Rapper's Delight is the first hip hop song, and some say King Tim. Hey, King I got Tim. Father MC on here, man. What was the first hip hop song, man, that was really popular?
King Tim III, King the Tim, King Tim III, and I am him.
Yeah.
Fatback.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
that's
sir.
2 years. That's two. I be trying to tell people, like, that's 2 years prior to Rapper's Delight. Rapper's Delight is 79.
But Rapper's Delight hit in a way, it hit so big, it seemed like it was the first,
Okay.
That's when you had all the great stuff. You had Blondie, ding, ding, dong, ding, 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 ding,
ding, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, you had all of that. Like, true, you had joints. But back in the day, man.
That's what that was. So you was there at the essence of it, man. Like I'm saying, a lot of people don't realize, man, like it was a very special time, and those who were there to witness the magic, man, with cool DJ Cool Herc and all the legends, man. Yeah. It was a special time. So look, so when did you decide, man, you know what? Man, I'm kind of good at this shit, man. I think I can do something with this, man. What was the bug, man? What was the fire that was lit? That made you realize, man, I'm gonna take this shit serious.
When me and my crew, I was with the First Fleet and I had two DJs as the gimmick. Me, God bless Shati Shamel, and DJ Rob Ski. Okay. And it was Father MC in the First Fleet. And we entered this contest called the USA Roller Skating Ring. And I won, came in first place. Had a trophy bigger than me. I had they gave us $1,000, for the winner, and took the $1,000 and we took all our dudes that was there. We had everybody though, because back then I was in Brooklyn, I was in the Bronx, I had Queens, I had Uptown Manhattan. So everybody was coming to that contest. And I had it so lit because I'm from Brooklyn, moved to Queens. So now not only do I got Brooklyn in the building, I got Queens in the building. Then you had the Bronx and Manhattan for everybody else. So it was so lit, man. And you get under the turnstile to get to the USA, boy. It's a long way to that. And every night, every Friday night, you would want to get out because it was nothing but gunfire, like bah, 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 under the train trestle. And cars, it was like some really okay corral stuff. And we won. And we took $1,000, broke bread, and then we bought a whole bunch of 40 ounces for the cats that rocked with us. And we took that money for the studio. Next thing you know, it was like my guys got locked up. Both of them. So I was out there for self. So I was like, man, you know what? I'm going to go to the studio and I'm going to start holding it down. And they got hit with a little bit they had to do a little stretch. So, then I just had to start taking me more serious. And I met with Kurt Woodley. I met with Kurt Woodley, and he was with Uptown. He was the A&R for Uptown. And then he was taking me to the studio, but he was making me change my words. I was inking stuff, but he kept making me change shit. And I was going for it because he took me to Uptown. They turned me down. They didn't want nothing to do with me. Andre was like, God bless Andre.
Now, hold on 1 second, Mr. Brown. So here we are. You said the brother took you to Uptown. Now, how was your style back then? Because one thing I always love about you, man, you had a very distinctive style down to the look, the dress, the voice, the delivery. What was it pre-1990? What was it?
They took me to Uptown. Uptown passed on me. They was like, nah. I was with Kurt Woodley. He was the A&R, so I'm thinking I'm definitely in. All I got to do, we was trying to do this record called Doing It in the Park. Doing it in the park. Oh, yeah, concrete park. Doing that.
Oh, kind of like the Blackbirds joint.
Yeah, that was it. And we was doing it, and then he kept making me change. So I was like, man, I just said, yo, I'm gonna pay for studio. I can't do this. I gotta pay for my own studio, man. And I let that go. Then I start going to the studios that he put me on. I start, going there and just start paying my own way. And I made this record called It's Time to Go Prime. And that's when I met Dante Ross. He was the president at Tommy Boy. And he told me, he was like, yo, then I start meeting all these other record companies just being out. And the name Father started circulating in the city hard. And next thing you know, he said, he was the president of Tommy Boy. He said, I'll sign you to Tommy Boy, but leaving Tommy Boy, I'm going to Polygram or one of those, not Polygram, Atlantic, was it?
Mercury. Oh, okay.
Not Mercury. He was going to one of those labels. Electra. He was going to Electra. Okay. And he said he's going to be the president over there. He said, if you wait 6 months, you could come with me. I was like, man. He gave me paperwork to both, Tommy Boy, Electra. And then next thing you know, now I'm, when Kurt Woodley had me going to Uptown, I just kept seeing the way Albie Shore and Guy and Heavy D. I saw Finesse and Quest. I saw the way Uptown was just building these guys. And I was like, I got to get here. I got to be here somehow. I didn't care about the label because now I got a record deal from Def Jam. Leon Cohen paid before any. This is all going. I signed to with the two DJs, Robski and Shati. We signed the deal to Stupid Fresh Records in Far Rockaway. Leon Cohen took me, got an attorney, got me out of that deal quick. So I really thought I was going to be with Def Jam. I had so many contracts, man. I got paperwork like this, dude. I'm going to Uptown now. I remember one day I went to Uptown with my record, with the paperwork. I said, I don't want no deal, man. I just want to be signed to Uptown management. Here, nigga, I got like 7, 8.
Why didn't you want a deal?
Huh? Yeah.
Why didn't you want a deal? Why didn't you want a deal?
Because I had 7 or 8 record contracts. Remember, they turned me down so many times. They turned me down before. So I'm going back because I want the management. I don't want the deal. I got one of these I could pick from. So at the end of the day, they was playing the record. It's time to go prime. And Andre, I was standing behind the door. I was standing near the door. And Andre bust in and was like, yo, who's that? And he didn't see me because I'm standing here. He bust in and the door is right in front of me. And they said, that's Father MC. And he said, that little black mother. And they said, yeah. And he said, yo, get him on the phone. He's like, yo, he's here. And the door shut. And they see me. He's like, yo, what's up? You know, we start talking. And they said, Dre. He's like, Dre was going through with the hype. Like, yo, I'm going to sign you. I'm going to do this and do that and do this. And Bob Celeste, the attorney, and Steve Lucas, they was all in the office. And they was like, Dre, we ain't here for a record deal. And he's like, what you mean? What are you here for? Yo, he just want the management. No, we want to get him on record label. And they said, Dre, and he had all of my contracts on the table. Dre sent, I don't forget, Dre, it was a Friday night, I believe. Dre sent someone to go to the bank. That's when Uptown was in Brooklyn. And he sent them up the street to go to the bank. Get me $1,000 and said, don't sign anything. If I don't beat them by Tuesday, he said, you get to keep the $1,000. You don't owe me nothing, and we'll manage you. I'm in a win-win situation. I said, shit, I don't waited this long. I could wait a couple of days. You know, took the $1,000. We went out to what was that? Not Latin Quarters. I think it was Latin Quarters. We went to Latin Quarters, I believe, and partied the whole week. Dude, I was working at I get the call from Bob Celeste. Yo, we just want to say welcome to Uptown.
Hold on, time out. You was working at KFC when you got the deal? That's crazy.
Hey, I quit too. As soon as he called me, and he called me, you know, I'm waiting on the call. They said they're going to call me by 5 o'clock that Monday or Tuesday. So I'm waiting. The phone don't ring. 4:30, bing, hit me, boom. Welcome to Uptown. Man, I'm rushing to go catch the Long Island Railroad. I'm seeing the time, you know, the times of the train. Man, I'm messing everything up. I took the numbers so they can't call people that work there. I called a couple of cats and said, yo, y'all don't have to work today, XYZ. It was rush hour. I'm in the bathroom changing up because I'm getting ready to jump on this Long Island Railroad. Out the crowd coming in. I had this boy who was from Alabama. His name was Scott. And he used to always be screaming like, Father, like just disrespectful. Man, I waited until the line got out the door. And he said, where you going? Where you going? I'm in my regular clothes now. I'm like, I'm going to see you later, money. Last time, sleeping. Went, got there. That was it. They got me, you know, Uptown. Uptown was my best choice. I don't think Father would have done the numbers that Father's done on any other label. Because Uptown understood me. You know what I mean? I would have had fun with other labels, but I don't think it would have been the success of Uptown, you know?
Okay. So look, so here we are. It's, you know, you sign with Uptown Records. Now, you know, when I done my my research, I noticed that Uptown Record, they had different distribution deals and different management deals with a lot of the artists. So were you signed directly to Uptown? Because I know Heavy D was, but some of the other artists, explain that. Why was it like that?
They had because Uptown started as Uptown Management, and Guy was signed to Uptown Management, but MCA Records. MCA was our parent company. Uptown was signed under MCA. So MCA basically gave Andre some money and said, sign us. But Albie Shore was signed to Warner Brothers, I believe, but he was with Uptown Management. Finesse and Quest was signed to Uptown. I came through and signed directly with Uptown MCA. I was directly with Uptown. Me, Heavy, Mary, and Jodeci were, and Christopher Williams, Uptown. Okay. Guy was MCA. Warner Brothers was Albie Shore. Who else?
Okay. Jeff Red wasn't.
Jeff Red was with. He was with MCA, I believe. Uptown Management. What's Jeff on Uptown?
I think it was Rex and Effects. I remember. What about Rex and Effects? I remember always seeing them around. Because Teddy Riley
they was with Teddy's camp. That was a whole. They wasn't even Uptown Management. That was like a whole nother label and everything. They had nothing to do with Uptown.
Okay. All right. Okay. So here we are. Let's fast forward a little bit. So here it is, man. And I'm from Washington D.C., but the first time I heard, what's that again?
My guy Mark Barnes.
Yeah, run the clubs. Yeah, he's stay up the road. Stay up the road. Yeah, that's my guy. So here it is, man. So here it is. It's 1990, man. It's like we're talking about the summer of 1990, and you just released, the single
Treat 'Em Like
with Mary J. Blige. Now, which one is which one was the first single? Was it
Treat 'Em for me? Treat 'Em Like You Want to Be Treated was the first single on Uptown.
Okay, I apologize. I always get as far as the dates. I know they both off the same project, but as far as the dates. So, okay.
Treat 'Em was the first.
Tell me what led up to that.
I was doing.
Okay, Treat 'Em Like They Want to Be Treated was the first. And that came out like, and the crazy thing about it, let me say this. When those songs took off, it seemed like up here in DC, it's like in 91, it seemed like that's when they really popped. So when I had that album on tape. I got the tape in January of 91. I was in 7th grade. So when that was, when I looked at the album, I realized like it came out in 90. I'm like, but I don't really remember these songs being that.
Let me tell you why though. Yeah, you know what you're talking about, because when Treat 'Em came out,
I'm tripping. Like maybe I'm in the Matrix or something, but it just seemed like those songs dominated 91.
Yeah, let me tell you.
Talk to me.
Treat 'Em Like You Want to Be Treated came out in 90. The album wasn't done. When Treat 'Em came out, it took off so big that I started, they had me doing Uptown promotional tour. Then MCA, the parent company, was like, we need farther. So I didn't have time to finish the album. So that's why Treat 'Em Like You Want to Be Treated had like 20, 60 remixes all around, different remixes. The album wasn't done. Every state I was going in, city I was going, they had me in studios trying to finish this album. Then we finished I'll Do For You and I had Dave Hollister on I'll Do For You. That was the first record, was supposed to be the second single. But Dre said he don't want to get caught up. So, he had sent for all of the producers to produce remixes for I'll Do For You. We went and got Mary and Mark and Corey that produced Treat 'Em Like You Want to Be Treated. They did a remix for I'll Do For You, which they produced the original I'll Do For You. They got Mary, and we did Cheryl Lynn's "To Be Real."
So telling me the original one didn't have that sample
No,
that
the
Cheryl
original
Lynn.
one was with me and Dave Hollister. And next thing you know, when they came with the "To Be Real" remix, Dre was like, "We going with this as the second single." I was at the radio station in DC, GCI, I believe. Was it GCI or one of the radio stations? But they
Kiss FM. That's the big station out here.
well, I was in DC. I'll never forget because Cowboy was the PD or disc jockey or whatever, and he told me, he said, "This record is gonna take you out of here, and I'll do for you."
Yo, and he wasn't lying. He wasn't lying.
Yeah, he was not lying. No, he wasn't lying at all. Him and Harsh at KMEL told me that I'll do for you. If you think you're becoming big now with Treat 'Em, he said, but when they release that "I'll Do For You,"
right,
you're gone. And I waited to see. And then when they did that, how I knew they was telling the truth, because when "I'll Do For You" was so big and it had crossed over now. "I'll Do For You" crossed over. Mm-hmm. We had the third single was "Lisa Baby," but we had Dave Hollister on Lisa
right
Baby.
There. That was my shit. That was my shit right there.
They stopped that. It's still on the album. It made the album cut, but they stopped it, and we through Jodeci and Devontae did a remix to "Lisa Baby," and that we shot the video, and that's why you see like the Versace and all of the Rolex and the gear, the real gear, the colorful, like boom. It was like you a whole nother level artist now. And I was just like, the video was even shot different. And I was like, wow, it's like kind of crazy, but it was dope. It was good. And I never knew how many people really love Lisa Baby, like even to this day. Like people, of course they know Treat 'Em and "I'll Do You."
I like the remix one, the album version. I don't really too much care for that one, but that remix version is the one that really with Jodeci. Let me say this: the album version is cool. I don't want to say I dislike it, but that remix version just really brings that song out with Jodeci in them on it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I always wanted to go ahead. Neil. I had Elise O'Neill in the video. I had her in "One Night Stand" and in "Treat 'Em Like," "One Night Stand" and in "Lisa Baby." I had them both in the videos.
Okay. So look, let's go back. Let's slow it down. Because we got to talk about the whole persona of Father MC, man. See, when you came out, brother, you was like a one of one. Like, we had LL and he had his style, but as far as catering to the ladies and making it cool to treat women with dignity and respect, but still being respected by the street hustlers and being respected by, the brothers in the hood, man, you brought a whole new element. So the question I posed to you was this by design from you, or was this the brainchild of Andre Harrell?
I think it was both. It was both, because I've always been known in the streets. Like, the people that know me, they always say that the suit gimmick was Andre Harrell, which it was. I can't front, But I always dressed. It's just Andre and Father MC took it to a whole nother level. But to the street, everyone know how I got down. So,
right.
To the brothers to be on some cool, like in the hood, I was good. But then also I was raised, by my mother. So she raised me and my brother like to be, gentlemen to the women. So it was a joint venture, I think, with me and Dre. Yeah.
You know what, man? Like I said, when I purchased that tape, because I got that tape for my birthday in 7th grade, and I'm gonna tell you, man, I tried to emulate you so much, man, down to the haircut, down to the clothes. I can show you pictures, man, And then the thing that really resonated, man, you was a dark-skinned brother, man, and Al B. Show had that whole thing locked up. But Al had it lit, man. But then you a dark-skinned brother, man, and ladies feeling him and brothers respecting him. It was beautiful, man, to see a brother bringing that type of positivity, man, but a swagger and coolness, man, that we just really haven't seen before, or to be honest. And this is what the kids say: no cap. We really haven't seen that. We really haven't seen that before. So, knowing and just being there in the moment, man, did you realize that you was going to create this legacy and be this cult figure that you are today, man?
You know what's crazy is I saw it in the making, because not only with Uptown, but it's like MCA, our parent company, when they would call, like, I seen the making of Father MC, like in the making. I saw Uptown because I always was at the office with Uptown, but MCA was our parent company. So when I'd go to MCA, I saw the way they would like delegate things. Like, I would always want to be at the Hilton, you know what I'm saying? Like at, where Uptown would usually put us, Hilton or the Sheraton. They would have me like at a bigger hotel, like with a bigger name, Father, like it was two different type of treatments. Like Uptown would have me getting picked up in a, limousine, let's say, at the airport, MCA would have a town car, unless I was with my crew. But MCA would have you town car. Like I was doing the trucks before it was fancy to do the trucks, like rolling up the president. Like that's what MCA was doing. So I saw the different growth, like how they was trying to delegate for MC, and I loved it though.
Yeah. So here we are, man. Like I said, man, we gonna stay on this Father's Day project. It's a little bit, but I want to talk about the making, man. Tell me about the making of do for me, do for you. I always messed that title up. I'm sorry. Can you tell me about the making of that song, man? With Mary J. Blige, man. How did you put that together? What was the inspiration of putting that song together, man? Because even in 2021, man, that song still resonates today. It's still relevant, man. Talk about that.
When we was on tour with Treat 'Em, it was like we had so many remixes that, like I said, Dave Hollister was on I'll Do For You, the original. So when I was on the road somewhere, doing promotion, and at the end of the day, they flew me back in and said, yo, you in the studio, and we doing a remix. And I went, I saw Mark and Corey at the studio, and I saw Mary there. And I'm like, yo, what's going on? Mary was, wow. They just went and threw Mary in the booth, and Mary just started singing my hook. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. So I'm liking that version better than I like the Dave Hollister's version. So I'm like, there's the problem. And then I was like, I knew that was the record, but I thought it was going to come out as a remix. I didn't know at this point how the game really worked, because I'm still a new artist. I'm just becoming Father. And Dre was like, he called me to his office and said, yo, we going with the remix. And I'll never forget, we had to clear the sample. Dre came to me because I'm the one paying for it. He's like, yo, this is how much they charging, and I just need to know, do you want to do it? And he said, sometimes the single helps the album. And I'm like, you mean? I mean, she took everything. She took Charlene.
So when you mean, and I want the audience to hear this, man. So when you mean you had to pay everything, you're basically saying that came out of your budget.
Yeah, basically. I had to pay her over $300,000. I remember that. I had to pay her that. And well, it was like a catch-22. It was a risk because it made the album do what the album did, but I made nothing on that record. Because she said, if y'all want it, I'll give it to y'all, but I want everything. And I was like, damn. And up front,
that, man.
And up front,
do you think that's fair, man? Like, yo, that's crazy though. Like, I don't. So you telling me in 2021, Cheryl Lynn is still collecting royalties off that song?
Yeah. So am I, though. I still get paid too. But in the process,
I'm pretty sure you do.
Yeah. In the beginning, it was like you had to do it so it could benefit the album.
Right.
It's like you had to do it so it could benefit the album. That sometimes you got to lose to win, and a lot of people don't know what that means. Lose to win. Sometimes you got to pay it. Like I didn't have 300,000 at that time. At the end of the day, MCA would cover it, but I would have to pay MCA back with the royalties on my album. Yeah. So when I'm waiting on that check to come, the check may be a little low, but the record did so well that I didn't see it. Like I didn't miss it. Like that's how crazy that record did.
Okay. And I'm pretty sure, touring and shows and all that, you pretty much
that's what made me not miss the 300,000 because I was all over the place. Remember, I was on tour. If you look at my albums, they always were 2 years apart. I came out with an album. Next album came 2 years later. And that's because I was out promoting and being on tour the first year in the States. Then after we finished, we jump on the plane. My tour bus would always take us to LaGuardia or JFK. We getting on the plane to go overseas for a year. So I'm not seeing America for another year because I'm about to go beat up overseas.
Damn.
So that's what we did.
So you telling me, like, because I remember when, like I said, when Father's Day dropped, and that's 90, but then your second project came out, that's in 92. So you was pretty much overseas in that entire year of 91 or 92?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. That's crazy, man. So look, I want to talk about the next single, man. Treat them like they want to be treated, man. This is another personal favorite. I know.
That was my first single.
I wonder, do you? I mean, the first. I'm sorry, the first single. I wonder, do you get tired of just always? Because these songs are classic, brother. Like, I'm sorry, these songs are timeless, brother. Like, I listen to your music. I listen to your music, brother, as if it's 1990 right now. Like, they still sound fresh. Not the singles, not just the singles. I'm talking about Close to You. Like, that album is crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get into that. So I want to go to the first single. I apologize. I want to go back to the first single. Treat them like they want to be treated. Now, tell me about that concept, man, and how did that come to be? Because at that time, man, we had no idea who these guys that was on that track were going to become. But just tell me how that the making of that song.
I had Andre. I had a hardcore album. It was called "It's My Turn and I'm Back," and we were scheduled to shoot video and everything. And Dre was like, they invited me to dinner and everything, so I'm all excited. I'm Bob Celestin, Steve Lucas, Andre, Puff, and they like, yo, we don't feel this hip hop hardcore album for you. And I'm like, what? I'm ready to drop the album to go. I'm ready to shoot video. And he said, nah, man. He said, listen, you back and it's your turn. You back. And then Bob Celestin was like, nigga, you back from where? Where are you back from? He said, do you want to have Benz in the projects, or would you rather have a mansion and have a Bentley? I was like, oh, shit. It started making sense, start resonating. So they said, we'll offer you this. Dre said, I'm going to offer you this. If you listen to us and we're wrong, we're going to exercise our option and let you do the album your way. So you have another shot. Okay. But if you don't do it our way, we're going to put this album out. And if you don't make it, we're going to drop you. Straight up like that. They said, you could go home and think about it. I said, ain't nothing to think about. Let's go. I'm going to go your way. I got on the train. I got on the Long Island Railroad going home, really thinking like, damn.
Okay.
Damn. I seen these two crackheads, man. And this lady said, looked like it was like New Jack City. She was like, you don't treat me the way I want to be treated. And that just stuck to me. And Dre was like, yo, we think you could become a star. That's all that was in my head. I get to the thing, to the stop where Marky D lived at. And I'm like, you know what? And he lived near Green Acres Mall. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna go to the mall.
And you talking about Marky D from the Fat Boys.
Fat Boys. From the Fat Boys. You know? I said, I'm gonna go to the mall. I go to the mall, I walk in the store, bow. Prince Marky D from the Fat Boys right there. And he's like, yo, what you doing? I'm like, man, I just left Uptown. I'm ahead. I had to go get clarity. I had to go see some chicks. I went to see some chicks.
Right.
You know, and they had the little photo booth and everything. I said, let me just go and see what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm going in there and I see Mark, and Mark's like, yo, we got the studio at the crib. Come on. And it was him and Corey. Corey was at the house. So I go to the house and I tell them my idea. Treat them like you want to be treated. I start humming the melody. Treat them like they want to be treated. You know, Corey was a vocalist too. You know, Corey starts singing, treat them like they want to be treated. You know, and the record was dope. Making the music on the spot. I'm rhyming. I'm doing the records on the spot. Next thing you know, everybody loved it. And then we took it to Dre. And we was recording it in a studio in the Bronx, a real studio in the Bronx. But Dre was like, look, I ain't paying for nothing. If y'all think that this could go, and they said, no, Dre, we won't hold you. If the record don't make the album, we don't care. We just want to record and let you hear it. Dre was like, all right, cool. And when we bought them, treat them, I'll do for you. When we start bringing them records, he was just like, yo, y'all wanted something. And then Puff started getting involved with it. Next thing you know, I'm in other studios doing stuff. Jodeci, they signed Jodeci. Jodeci comes up. We slapped Jodeci on Treat 'Em. Record was gone. It was gone. I'll never forget hearing the record, and I was just like, I'm out of here. It's that's all I could say. I couldn't say nothing else. I heard the record, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So
now who's now, matter of fact, you know, because Jodeci came out like a year later in '91.
Yeah.
You know, now when they slapped Jodeci on that project, man, one of the things that always stood out to me, like watching a video, you know what I'm about to go to, man. You know what I'm about to say. Like, why is Devontae singing Casey's fault? What's all that about, man?
Dude, because we just had fun, and they were a group, so we didn't care at that time. We just was like, he's part of the group. He ain't lying. You know, he the one who produced, you know, Jodeci's album. So, you know, they needed something to do in the video, you know. So, that's like Dalvin. Dalvin, you know what I'm saying? Dalvin was singing too. Yeah. You know, the people who sung it was JoJo and KC. But they're in the group. And Devontae was the mastermind, and Dalvin was part of the group. So it is what it is. You know.
I know you get tired of you know, answer that question, man, but I wouldn't be myself, man. If I didn't ask you that, man. I always wanted to know, but with that being said, man, that song is a monumental classic, man. You know, not just as far as hip hop songs. You know, one thing I love about your music, man, and I think that's one of the things that's missing today is. And one thing, and this also goes to the genius of Andre Harrell, but you was able to create a hybrid of great hip hop mixed with R&B. Now, let's go back. You mentioned that you did a gangster, a gangster rap album, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
A street album. Now, did any of those songs from that street album, did they make it to Father's Day and you kind of like twisted them, you know?
Never.
You scraped the whole thing.
Scrapped it. Nothing. And that record, It's Time to Go Prime, that got me signed. The record that got me signed, the world never heard it. Never heard it.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, man, because I'm damn sure go try to look that up on YouTube.
It never made it. It never YouTube. Nobody got it. Never made it.
So where's all these songs? Where's the album?
Trashed. It's somewhere in MPA's Universal Vault, but it was trash though. Started from scratch.
So Okay, okay. So look, you mentioned, you mentioned, Puff was around this time, man, and a lot of people forget that Puff was at the genesis of Uptown Records. He was just leaving Howard University, man. So what was it like, man, working with Puff, or what was that experience like?
We had a ball. We had a ball. Puff was the funniest character. He danced for me. We got into
the video. Hold on, I gotta stop you for a second. He's in one of the videos. Which video is that? Let the people know.
He's in both. He's in Treat Him Like You Want to Be Treated, dancing for me, and he's in I'll Dupe You right on the stage when I'm about to go up on the thing. When I walk on the stage, that was my real band.
Black suit. He got the female, the black suit.
He got the black with the cap on, and he taps me like, "Yo, I'm getting ready to go on." Yeah. Puff been there. Puff was my to go to, like everything. Every move we made, it was Diddy. It was Diddy. I'm the one who said when Kurt Whitley was leaving Uptown to go to Columbia, to A&R for Columbia. Right. Ray came to me and said, "Yo, we got a problem, but we're gonna work it out." And I'm like, "Yo, what's the problem?" He said, "Yo, we're gonna put a hold on the project because we got to find a new A&R." I'm like, "Why we got to do that?" I said, "We got Puff." I said, "Kurt be sleep anyway all the time in the studio, And he said, "You sure?" I said, "Yeah." He looked at me and said, "You sure?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Puff is the one that's up with me when we be banging out."
Yeah.
So he's like, "Okay," and that's how Puff became my A&R and took the project the rest of the way home. And I wasn't mad at that because to see Puff in the beginning, he was brilliant to me then, like he's now. But it's just that I seen the making of him becoming who he became. And people always like, "Yo, they always want you to shit on Puff or whatever." No, I wanted to become Father MC. I was successful at that. I did that. Puff wanted to become who he is right now. He saw that vision then. I'll never forget. We was in DC at the what was the arena, the Capitol building or whatever
Capitol
arena.
Capitol Center.
My tour bus was parked out there, and he's playing Biggie. He wanted me to hear Biggie, and I'm like, "Oh, Puff, I got to get ready to go on the stage and destroy this building." He's like, "Just hear this real quick." And he played Biggie, and then he said to me, he said, "I'm going to be able to give myself my own, I'm about to give me my own record deal. Watch and see. And that always stayed with me. That stayed with me. And he said, "Watch when I'm going to be able to give me $1 million record deal." I remember that shit like it was yesterday. Wow. And I believed him. And he talked.
What was it? What made him special? What made him so special, man? Like I said, your interview, what I have to do, we gotta talk about Puff, man.
Listen, Puff work ethic was something that was so crazy because nobody was doing it then. Like you got to remember, Puff was a young cat back then, and you had all of these old cats like I say, Kurt going to sleep in the studio. No disrespect to Kurt Whitley, but we the new bred, and Puff saw
it is what it is.
Look, let me tell you this. I say this all the time. Puff was around all of the greats: Clive Davis, Russell Simmons, Andre Harrell. He took bits and pieces from each of those men and put it together. He understood it and put it together. Like Uptown would be usually like, "No, my man, cursing you, Russell Simmons with the yoga." I'm like, "Yo, I just think everything needs to be smooth." So you got the smooth, and then you got the Uptown cursing out. Then you got the Clive Davis.
Right.
So you put all that shit together in a bag and became Bad Boy. Then when Andre built the bomb, I always say this, and threw it out the window. When I say throw it out the window, it was like fired Puff. And the bomb fell. And everybody walking past the bomb, and here come Clive Davis. And he's like, "What's this?" He picks the bomb up. All he had to do was light it for it to blow up. And that's what Clive Davis did. And that's how I explained Puffy. That's what it was. Dre built the bomb, threw it out the window. You're fired. The bomb didn't go off. Clive Davis comes, "Oh, what's this?" Picks it up, lights it.
Right.
and it blows the fucking world up. And that's what happened. That's what happened. You know.
So it's when I think back at that time, man. When I think back at that time, and I look at what you have accomplished and what did Sean Puffy Combs accomplished, man. I correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me, listening to you, it seems to me as if Puffy was the bridge to the older generation to the new generation. And he saw the vision. He saw, and guys like you, he was able to cultivate them.
Puff had his vision on what he wanted. He saw what he wanted. And the thing of it was Andre gave him that tunnel, that avenue to go do it, to explore. MCA was scared to death of Puff. Andre had to go to MCA and say, look, what I'm doing is winning, and I'm selling more records than y'all. I'm selling more records than the parent company. We the hottest thing. So they were like, yo, kid, it ain't broke, don't fix it. And Uptown at that point, you got Gary, Father Jodeci on tour. We the biggest things in the world. You know what I mean? I wasn't there with Uptown. I came the second tier of Uptown. The first tier of Uptown was Guy, Albie Shore, Heavy D, Finesse and Quist, Groove Be Chill. Incredible roster.
Damn, he said Groove Be Chill.
But when I came, now Father is the one who got to keep these lights on. Because now
I was just about to allude to that, talk about that, man. Because I watched the interview when you said you pretty much had to carry Uptown on your back.
I had to, and I took the chances. I took the risk. I don't care how good Jodeci sung. I don't care how good Mary J. Blige sung. Mary J. Blige had a record with Jeff Redd on his album. You get what I'm saying? She blew up She blew up when Father said, come on, let's go. I'm carrying this load, and it was hard to carry that load because at the end of the day, if I messed up, that meant Jodeci was going to flop. That meant Mary was going to flop. And it was a no. We could not do that. And we couldn't do it. It was work. We had a work ethic. Jodeci's hot singing. Mary's hot singing. Father's a hot artist. But at the end of the day, after Treat 'Em Like You Want to Be Treated, I Gotta Love came out. That wasn't the record for Jodeci. Forever My Lady. And I told Dre, put out Forever My Lady. Because that Gotta Love wasn't really the record for Jodeci at that point. Forever My Lady. Came talk to me. Come talk to me. You know what I mean? And
that whole second half of that the first half of that album should have just been they should have released those songs as singles out the gate.
But you know what's so crazy? It was like everything was so upbeat at that time. You can't blame them for throwing out Gotta Love. You get what I'm saying? We just thought anything we throw out on gonna win. It's gonna win, and it didn't.
Yeah.
Forever My Lady came and destroyed the fucking game. It destroyed. I'll never forget. I remember I went on tour. I went to their tour, to Jodeci's tour, because I wanted to see what it was like. Because after they had spot dates, it was Father, Mary, and Jodeci about to go out. So I wanted to see what Jodeci was working with on the road. And when I went on that tour, man, and I went on, it was Father MC Mania, but when I went on that road and I saw what Jodeci had, when I saw people falling out, literally faking all over the place. They had fire trucks, they had ambulances. It was like crazy. I mean, and saw girls faking. I was like, this is some crazy shit. I thought Albie Shore was doing it. I thought Albie Shore was the new Black Elvis Presley. It's like running around the corner and girls is chasing him, 15,000 girls chasing him. I remember one day, Al just was taking pictures. I said, Al, hug me, man. Hug me real quick. I bubble, hug me. He's like, he hugged me. Next thing you know, these girls, it was crazy, but that's how it went. Then, next thing you know, Jodeci. When I seen girls, literally, I'm like, this is what I got to look forward to on my tour. So I had to step my game up, but I ain't I had girls fainting, but Jodeci had girls fainting. Like my guy, Jodeci, yeah, it was real. But then my stage show was so crazy that whoever came on had a problem with me.
Talk about that, man. We got to talk about that stage show, man, because when a lot of people don't understand, there's a difference between someone who does music and someone who's an actual artist. When I think of Father MC, you was an artist, man. You encompass all of that, man, from the stage show. So talk about that, man. How did you go about putting that whole thing together?
I'll never forget, like, I'm just thinking, okay, I got a hit record. So I'm going to go on stage rap and I'm going to go and get the bag and that be that. No. Uptown MCA was like, no, money. You going in rehearsal 5 days a week, 8 hours. And we're paying your dancers and you, but you're paying it all back. So my dancers is getting paid. They're getting per diem. I'm paying all of this. And at the end of the day, but it worked. Then we got Rosie Perez. They brought Rosie Perez in to choreograph us. It was some stuff, because not only with Jodeci and Mary, I was going on tour. I was out with Salt and Pepper, High Five Troop, Candyman, Tony. I was out with EPMD, Father MC, DJ Quick, Chub Rock. I was out on tours. I was out. So we was going. I asked Eric Sermon this. It's crazy. I never forget. We was at Jack the Rapper, right? And Eric just was up.
In Atlanta.
In Atlanta. We at the Marriott. So I see Eric Sermon, and I know my baby mom, Star, knew his baby moms. So I'm like, I ain't know Eric at the time, right? But I just saw this cat. He up there on the thing in the Marriott had the elevator where you could see through the elevator, a see-through elevator. So I just seen this guy, and Eric Sermon just looking at me like this. And seeing the way I'm moving, because it was so many women. He's seeing the way I'm moving with these chicks, right? I never forget. I get back home, and me and Eric, we met at Jack the Rapper, and we became cool, hanging out. And I get a call from Mark Cheatham.
I would want to ask about those days, man, because that's the Freaknik era too, man.
It was crazy. It was crazy. But I get a call.
Go ahead. Continue.
I get a call from ICM, my booking agent, Mark Siegel and Mark Cheatham, and they saying, "Yo, we got this tour. You want to go on it? They want you on this tour." So I said, "What's the lineup?" They said, Eric Sermon, EPMD. Chub Rock, DJ Quick, they just ran it down. Candyman, they ran it down, and I was like, I'll go get the bag. It was, I said, let's go. I get it, man. I get on, and it was a straight hip hop hardcore tour, right? So I asked Eric in class. I said, yo, why y'all put me on this tour, man? And they said, Father, you bringing the chicks out. You bringing the women out. Everywhere we go. And they made sure I was the one to get paid. They made sure that. It was a tour, like when Father came, I'm not even, on me like that. But when I came in, every city.
Keep it a bean. We know what it is. We know the history. Keep it a bean.
The fingernail parlors and the malls with the nails and the toes was getting done. All women. It was always sold out. It was like women came to the show for Father. So they kept me on the bill because I bought the women. And I wasn't mad at all. Al Heyman, it was an Al Heyman show. Sparkle was in charge of it on the show, on the tour. We just had a blast, man. And after that, I had to leave the tour because the Jodeci tour was starting, and I had to get ready for that. And that was the tour actually was ending. The EPMD tour was ending. That's right. And I had to collide into the the Jodeci tour. And never forget, the first show with the Jodeci, I made it hard for people, brother. We made all of the rehearsing, and then I'm on tour. I'm on tour practicing, getting ready for this Jodeci tour. So I'm just like doing stuff on the tour to see if it works, because I know I'm about to go out. See, that tour with EPMD was a little arena tour. Jodeci tour was the stadium tour. That was the 50,000, 45,000. Yeah, I'm going from 5,000, 10,000 seaters with EPMD to 50,000 arenas. I'm like, so I'm just trying stuff, trying different, see what'll work, what was good. So when we got to the Jodeci tour, it was a problem because I was ready. My team was ready. We knew how many seconds to change, the clothes changing. I had people working for me, taking my clothes off, taking my pants off in my shirts while they formed, while my DJs doing like commission and they throwing in. I had my two dancers, so they getting their stuff treated exactly the same way. We had wardrobe people. It was a whole different life on the Jodeci. And then you got to get back on and get ready to walk back on coolness and be who you are. And I'll never forget, man, when we used to destroy the tours. We never had a problem. We did it so good. I remember when we hit home, Madison Square Garden. It was a Friday and Saturday show. And we did it so hard that we always would. It was Father, Mary, and Jodeci, and they had Little Sean on before us, and some other acts before Sean. So when it came to me, Jodeci went. That's when I had got the management, Steve Lucas, but Frank DeLeo, that's Michael Jackson's manager. He came for me. He came. So him and Steve Lucas did a joint venture. Now I got Michael Jackson's camp with me. That's managing me as well as Steve Lucas. So, like I say, it anteed up. It got even bigger. So I remember we doing it, and next thing you know, I'll never forget. Mariah Carey came to my show at the Garden, and the first time I ever met Mariah Carey, and Corey standing right there and introduced me to Mariah Carey. That was her first hip hop tour, she said, and we went on. And all I can say is I made it hard for people, man, because it was so hard to follow. Jodeci the next day.
I know that's right.
Jodeci went back to Steve Lucas, our manager, and Frank DeLeo and said, yo, can y'all put Father on in back of us, like right in front of us? Because Father, I kept the crowd going. I had those records that was like, bah, 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 bah. Mary had those records too. But then she do that love stuff, and it'll bring the crowd down.
Yeah, bring it down.
The object on tour is to keep the crowd like, like I'm like, your hands and boom, boom, boom. So when Jodeci time to come on, the people want to see you, but they restless because I done had them up here, Jerry had them up here, and then they bring them down. Yeah. Now here comes Jodeci wanting to come out and want that excitement. But the people was down, like they like they still amp, but they Jodeci need
y'all worked them up. Y'all got
and then it became
that's crazy.
So my management came to me and I said, yo, man, I'm comfortable where I'm at in my position. And I said, that's when I tried it. I tested and I said, well, it's gonna cost like 30 grand more to what I'm making if y'all want me to switch my position. Because I'm cool. Contractually, I'm staying where I'm supposed to stay.
Yeah, you're not obligated to do that.
Yeah, I'm cool in my position, and it worked. When I tried it, it worked. And I tried it like I would have went on. But when it was so time constraint. The time constraint was like, we need to know. I was like, all right, we'll do it.
Okay.
Hey, my road manager went, got the bag. We going on right in front of Jodeci.
No doubt.
And we, man. I mean, man.
Y'all was giving your team was giving Jodeci that work, huh?
We gave everybody the work. Overseas, we destroyed everyone. We was man, it was so good.
See, what the weird thing, the funny thing, let me say this. It seemed like and this is no disrespect, but I'm gonna just keep it real because I'm a music guy and I'm old enough to vividly remember that time. And it seemed like as Kane was kind of dwindling down, so it seemed like you slipped right into that spot. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, man, because that album that he did that had the Barry White single, which I like that album. I ain't gonna lie, I like that project, but it seemed like when you dropped yours, man, it seemed like you took that spot, brother. So did you realize like the shoes that you was feeling, and was there any pushback from?
Definitely.
Was there any pushback? Let's keep it real, man, because you took it to another level. Like Kane was nice. Kane was nice, and he's a legend. But brother,
I idolized Kane.
But brother, like, you took it to another level.
When Kane was there, when I was working on my album, every studio in the world, everywhere I went, had that Kane poster with him with the females, you know, and it was
the two,
it was that, and I'm so smooth, and I was like, damn, that record is crazy. And then next thing you know, but we had two different types of records, and like I understood, like Kane had them records like that was just that, and I had them records that was like that. Come on, let's go. So, but me and Kane, we always respected each other, man, and I remember, you know, I used to look up to Kane because he was there before me and he was doing it. So we both was dark skinned, you know, but to me, I think our styles were so indifferent that I don't think we bumped heads at all, because where he was going, when he was going with his album, you know, and where I was going with mine, we definitely was setting, like me and Kane did shows. I remember we did shows in a lot of places, man. But I remember in Raleigh, we did shows because my boy, he was locked up, and we did a show to get him, you know, his bail money to get out because the feds had him. And Kane knew him too. We did it, and I think we did it for free and give all the money that y'all make at the door for his bail.
Oh, that's what's up. That's love right there. That's what's up.
So we did that, and that was the show of life, man. Father MC, Big Daddy on the same bill.
Yeah, what we talking? Raleigh, what was 90, 91?
92, 93, Raleigh, North Carolina. You know, we did it, and you know, these were street dudes too. So when we got out there, you know, these cats had the dealership. Whatever car we wanted to drive for while we was there, they had the dealership. We go pick, and that's when I think Infinities came out. And we went, my whole crew, not just for me, the whole team. Yeah. Hotel suite for everybody. They did us so lovely, man. It was crazy, man. And
but there was never no beef. There was never no strife, man. Because I always wanted to know that. Like, we thought y'all didn't like each other.
Yeah, they had the dirt bikes for us. They took us, we riding, and they had everything so on point. And they knew we was just giving all the dough to Bug, and these were his peoples. I think these cats spent so much money on taking care of us and making sure we were good that I'm like, damn, y'all could have put all this money into the books too. But they made sure we were so right, man. And that night, I'll never forget, when we walked into that arena, that little place where the whole parking lot was to the highway, dude. And I was like, damn, these people came out, you know, for Bug. And it was just a good feeling and representation. And we destroyed that building, man. It was so crazy, man. And that was the thing. When you go on tour to actually, when I walked into New York, man, and I walked in Madison Square Garden and I saw that place sold out, it was like, I'm here, man. I did it. So
yo, whoa, you sold out Madison Square Garden?
Yeah, every time.
That's crazy.
Every time.
That's
every
crazy.
album. Every album we hit Madison Square Garden on every album. Every album I hit it, and it sold out every time.
So look, let me say this. Let me say this. And I don't know if I don't know if you heard me while you was talking, but I wanted to always ask you this, and you basically confirmed it, because a lot of us, you know, I don't know about it abroad, but here in DC, we always thought you and Kane, like being a young kid, man, and you guys were like megastars to us. And we always thought you and Kane had beef, man. Like it was just rumors, man, that, you know, you and Kane, just it was conflict, man. So again, for the record, clear. Let's make it clear.
I never heard that. Like me and Kane, I'd never heard that.
Yeah.
The most I think I've heard was like you and Kane should do a record together. You know, but I never heard like me and Kane any discrepancies. Yeah. And I never heard that. But you know, that's just
why they call it rumors.
Yeah. You know, but nah, me and Kane never had, me and Kane was just cool. And I still was a fan. You got to understand, I still was a fan of Kane when I was father. Because this is the guy that here I am, R-A-W. I'm like, whoo, oh my God. I remember working at KFC, listening to this dude like, oh my God, what the hell? You know, it's no way. I could be mad at this dude. It's no way. He, to me, was the rap god, to be honest. Like, it was like, damn,
so wait, so let's take it back.
When I went on tour,
so
you gotta understand, I had pictures and posters of everybody I was on tour with. I had them in my room the year before I made it. So I had posters of Salt and Pepper. I had posters of Eric Sermon, EPMD. I had posters of Big Daddy Kane. These are dudes I had posters, Public Enemy, LL. I'm on shows with these cats now. Touching them. I can touch them. I don't have to wait for the record to come on. I could just walk down the hall in the hotel room and see some of these cats. Some, you know, Special Ed, Chubbs, and it was crazy. It was crazy. I forget, we was at the awards. I was at the Grammys. I got nominated. And I walk in the Shrine Theater, and my dancer, Tricky, he's like, like we walk in, and he's like, your father. And I'm like, what? He says, look up. Just look up. I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, look up. I look up, man, and the whole balcony of people screaming. And he's like, wave your hand, wave your hand. I didn't know what to do at the time because I'm like bugging out, like, me. And I did like this. And next, you know, it was crazy. So it was different times when I knew I was here. You know what I mean? But to me, it was like, to me, I never forget the time we came off tour and we're getting ready to go to Madison Square Garden, right? So Madison Square Garden got my name in lights. Big Father MC, Jodeci, Mary, Lil Sean. And
now you the headliner. You the headliner.
No, Jodeci was the headliner. Jodeci was the headliner.
Oh.
But Father MC, and I stood, everybody, they going home, I then bought my mom's a house in Long Island. So I'm not going 2 hours and then coming back 2 hours for the
hold
show.
up, say that again. Say that one more time for the fans, man. You did what?
I bought my mom's a house. I bought her a house in Long Island,
brother. And so you only 2 years in the game. You only
I bought the house on a single. The album wasn't even out. I bought my mom's a house on a single. That's how crazy Treat 'Em Like You Want to Be Treated was, man. When I tell you.
That's crazy. Yeah, continue.
I'm watching, we coming off tour in Madison Square Garden was our first stop coming back before our last stop, our last stop before we go overseas. We had 2 shows. And when the tour bus hit Manhattan, it was Jodeci's tour bus, Mary's, mine. And next thing you know, I'm like, everybody's going home. They got limos and shit, like picking them up from, it dropped us off in front of MCA Records. That was the neutral spot for all of us. So I'll never forget, I go to Madison Square Garden and I'm just outside looking at Madison. No bodyguard, no nothing at this point. I'm outside looking at it. Man, I went to that hotel across the street and checked in to the hotel. I forget the name of it, but it's still there. And I went and got a massage. I just wanted to do me. I didn't want none of the celebrity treatment or nothing. These Chinese people didn't know who I was. They didn't know, you know. The streets knew because everybody was like, oh shit, but I just was on some, give me a hat, glasses, and I'm cool. And I looked at Madison Square Garden and I walked in. I'll never forget. I remember I walked in for sound check and I'm like, oh shit, I'm here, man. You know, the accomplishment, the achievement was like, I did this damn thing.
Right.
You know, I did. It it hit me like I'm about to tear this fucking building down. I'm about to bring this fucking building
Tell
down.
me about the lights, man. Let's go back to that part, man. Go back to the part you was talking about. You looking at the lights. Start from there.
I'm looking at this. Okay, I'm looking at the lights at Madison Square Garden, and I'm just like so fucked up, like a mental fuck up. Like you did this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man, I'll never forget. I went and got me a massage, and I walked across the street to Madison Square Garden, and everybody was there for sound check. And I'm just looking at the building. I'm looking at the room, and I'm saying to myself, in like 5 or 6 hours, I'm about to destroy this motherfucking building. That's
I know that's right.
Going through my head, and you know, like wow, I did this shit. Like I remember my brother took me there when I was a kid to see Andre Harrell, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, LL Cool J, all of them. He took me there, and I always said, I'm gonna be on that stage, man. So when it was my time, and then oh my God, let me tell you this. So my record backdrop came. I've never seen my backdrop through the whole tour, and it finally hit there.
Hold on. You talk about hold on. You talk about the album cover.
The album cover, which was like
yo, talk about the album before you get to that. Talk about the album cover, man, because I know niggas was hating, man. I know you always thought that was a fly ass album cover, man. But I know niggas was hating, man.
Niggas hated it, and then, but especially when we got to Madison Square Garden, right? And I ain't even go to see Mary. Everybody was looking at it like, oh shit, they got all of these like effects and niggas damn near talking in the air and shit. We get home, and they said like. Steve Lucas asked me like, well, do you still want it? Because we could have it at the Madison Square Garden. Because I'm going kind of little off on niggas. I'm like, yo, Jodeci got all of this stuff. Mary got all of this stuff. Yeah. I'm just walking out. I still was destroying niggas though. But at the end of the day, so when that shit hit Madison Square Garden and I'm walking into the garden and I'm seeing my album cover like 50, just imagine, no exaggeration, 50 of a movie theater. And that's it drops down. And I'll never, I walked out on the stage, my first show at the Garden, and I turned around. I fucked the crowd at that point. I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at it like, oh shit. Oh, okay. And then I looked at the crowd and I said, it's time to do this. And it went on and top.
Hell yeah, man. Hey, that's amazing, man. So look. Let's move on, man. We spent a lot of time on that project, man, but this is my shit right here, the one that followed that. I'm sorry, man. That Father's Day is the shit. But this one right here, man. This one right here, that Close to You album, I'm going to be honest, that's my favorite Father MC project. I'm sorry. That's my favorite shit, man. So tell me what led up to this project and, the direction, because it seemed like you went you took it a step further, man, with the Father MC this whole persona, man, this whole image, the everything, man, the whole energy, man. You took it to another level, man.
It was definitely a different energy. It was more personal. The second album, I was in Far Rockaway, and these cats I went to school with,
Okay.
They walking ahead of me, and of course I'm hearing everything, and they said, yo, well, this is a sophomore album. And they say people flop on it. Let's see what he do. I don't think he's going to be able to do it again. So I'm looking at these niggas. I'm going to get my hair cut. Like, all right, whatever, nigga. Enjoy your hate. Whatever. But shit stuck with me. So it stuck with me. And then, Puffy was doing the basketball game. And my fiance, she was pregnant by me, Sonia, God bless her. Sonia was pregnant, and she's the one of the ones that passed away in the. That's why it's called Close to You. I just want to get close to you. That's when I went and got intro to sing.
Kenny Green.
Yeah, I got Kenny to sing. Yeah, God bless. Yeah, she passed away, and I just knew that was on my mind consecutively. Like it was just like, wow, I'm in the midst of working on a new album, and I had to get new energy. And my managers, Frank DeLeo, Steve Lucas, I never forget they calling me like, yo, do you need to take a trip somewhere? Like MCA want to send you wherever you want to go, to Hawaii, Egypt, wherever. And I was like, nah, don't run from this, man. It's time to work. It's time to work. It took me like around 3 months to just, I just want just to chill for a minute. And then I went to them and said, I'm ready. And when I said I'm ready, they were so, I'll never forget, they were so happy. And they were so happy, man. And then I did Close to You in the middle of the album. Because I did Affection. I got Dave Hall, All I Want Is Affection. I did that. And then thank you. Then Corey and them did the Red Lace Lingerie. Then I hit Eddie F. We did the
Who do that? Ladies Love Him. Who does that? That's my shit. That Ladies Love Him, man.
Ladies Love Him. Yeah, Mark and Corey, they did that. And Ladies, I Love Them. They did My Body.
That's my shit, man. That album, man. I swear,
everything's gonna be all right too. Everything's gonna be all right.
Man, that was the lead off single right there. So you got Jodeci, man. So
One Night Stand was the lead off.
Okay.
One Night Stand, and that record just took fire. That record took fire so hard. I mean, man, I don't know. Affection was supposed to be the single, but Andre got the video crew. We flew up to LA out here. I went to the office, and I never forget, Dre was sitting in the office, and he's looking at the mountains and shit. So I said, yo, you all right? What's up? And he was like, yeah, man. He's like, yo, I think we fucked up. So what you mean? He's like, I'm sending everybody back home. I'm like, oh shit, what now? He's like, Affection's not the record. We're gonna do One Night Stand.
I could have told you that.
Yeah, he said, you serious? I said, you serious? No, but listen, he got the whole video crew, the extras, the models.
I'm just saying, after listen to the whole album, I love that song, but One Night Stand
One Night Stand.
The one.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That's the one.
When he did that was a beautiful decision because One Night Stand was like, I'm in Japan. One Night Stand was some other shit. That was just some other. Out of my album, out of my records I've done, that's my favorite record to this day. One Night Stand. To this day,
that's easily in my top 5, man. I'm off that album. My favorite joint is that Everything's Gonna Be All Right, man. I love that one, man.
Everybody say that.
Because it takes you back, man. Like you was there, man. Like you lived in the moment. But me as a young kid, as a fan, it just takes me back to that time, man. I don't think you know this, man. I don't know if you realize this. I don't know in any other interviews have anybody ever told you this, but you are this hybrid, man. You was this hybrid artist, man, that was just respected by niggas in the hood and the ladies, man. Like you was able to put that shit together and you was respected by both sides. I don't think no other artist that, like, I can't think of maybe LL. But you catered to the ladies though, yo. Like you made that shit cool, man. You made that shit cool to be a fly young nigga, man. Like I don't know if you get the credit for that shit, man, because we haven't seen nothing like that before, man. I know I'm repeating myself, but I'm gonna just keep it a bean with you. I'm gonna keep it a bean.
LA, we came, we did a show, our tour, me, Jodeci, Mary, our tour. We did it out here in LA, and MCA had they had a big after party, but we had to also go to the hood to go and do a song each. Nobody went, and they came to me and they said, yo, man, MCA said, yo, we in trouble because, this is one of the radio stations. They got everybody out there. And niggas was like, man, fuck that. I'm with the chicks. Everybody got champagne. You had to go to the hood in Inglewood. And I told my team, I said, let's go, man. Let's go. Dude, we got to this place, they had where you had to perform like on some real shit, like a stage, stage. So if they throw bottles at you, you don't get hit. That's what we had to perform at. But those people in the hood respected our gangsters so
What I'm
much.
saying.
New York
That's
niggas
why
came.
I want the audience to know that. I want them to know that,
We
man.
went in the trenches, man, and we did it because at the end of the day, like they always, you got to understand, man, where I was from and the shit I was doing before father, I was there. So I was out there. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it wasn't different to me. It's just a different mentality of a different space I was in. But I understood where these brothers and sisters was at and how they was trying to get down and how they was trying to eat. So for me, it just makes sense to go and show the love, man, and say what it is, man. I want to touch the people. I always they always said to me, yo, we're gonna go to the in-stores, but then we're gonna go to the retailers and shake hands with the people that's, putting the CD in the cover,
Got you.
And I was like, let's go. Where other artists never wanted to do that. But I was like, let's go get it. Because I knew what it was and I knew the importance of it. Just to go and say thank you for y'all doing what y'all do, even though y'all getting paid for it. Thank you. You know what I mean? And a lot of cats didn't do that, didn't see fit. You ain't have to, I kept lights on. And when I say I kept lights on in buildings, I was doing shit that niggas was like, man, I got my hit record and I'm going to go party and eat some caviar.
I'm good.
Let's go to the hood. They used to get so mad at me, the reps at MCA. I told you, MCA used to treat me like royalty, right? And I used to come out here and they come get me and have me in Rolls Royces and all that shit. I was like, man, come on, man, get me in a regular car and I'm cool. And they was like, no, I remember they told me you got to realize who you're becoming and who you are. I'm like, all right. And then they'll say, all right, we going to this fancy place to eat. And I'd be like, man, I want some soul food. I want some soul food. Find me the nearest soul food. I don't care about none of this extravagant, exquisite shit, stuff that I don't see on the plate that I ain't knowing what I'm eating. I'm hungry, money. Now I want me some.
I know that's right.
Black nigga, give me. Come on, let's go. Let's go to the hood. And they used to be like, oh, you gotta go all the way to Inglewood. Inglewood, here we come. Here we go, Compton. Here we go. At the end of the day, and them people used to love for me to come because they used to say like artists really wouldn't show love because we all in the hills and on Sunset. You used to that life. And you could get used to that life too. It's a good life though. Don't get me twisted. But
no doubt. Now, where was you living at around this time? I know you was on the road and you were traveling a lot. Where were you living?
In New York, but I was in Queens. But I bought my mom's a house in Long Island. So at the end of the day, I'm still used to, like, every time I get off tour, me and my dudes will go to Jamaica and go Jamaica Avenue in New York, and we go to the fish spot in the hood. You get what I'm saying? Father MC, and we in the hood.
No, I was just about to say, as Father MC?
As Father MC, in the hood. New York was always my stomping ground because that's where I'm from, and everybody thought I was from Brooklyn, born in Brooklyn, raised in Queens, but everybody thought I was from Uptown because the way I used to move. I used to always be in Harlem. I always was in Harlem, and I was everywhere in New York. Like, I was just the mover. I was getting down in New York. That's why, it's like you gotta represent where you're from and where but you grow.
Right. As I done my research, man, and even like I said, I remember that time vividly. I never remember anybody I never remember you being involved in any type of beef. You know what I'm saying? Like, for you to be, because let's keep it real, man. A lot of times when you got an artist that's beloved by the ladies, there's always some type of hate, man, and some type of, but I just don't remember. I don't remember that, man. So you being Father MC and being in the moment, living that shit, was there any like pushback or hate or whatever, man, from niggas in the streets or whatever? Because I don't remember it.
It's always gonna be some hate. You get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, my slogan was this, man. Like, yo, we don't want to beef with you. But you definitely don't want to beef with us. You get what I'm saying? I'm not being a tough guy. I don't like when cats like get rah. Because at the end of the day, if you take all that raw away and take all of that from you in front of your team, and let's go in the elevator and let's come down.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all. It's like, you're not going to disrespect me. I'm not going to disrespect you, but you definitely not going to disrespect me. And if you do, when I catch you, it's going to be something different. It's going to be funny. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a thug. I'm not a hood, but I'm not a pussy. And you're not going to do that. You're just not going to respect that. At the end of the day, it's not going to happen because shit can get done. Trust me.
Oh, man. No, I know that's right, man. So look, back to that project, man, that Next to You project. It seemed like that now. No, I get it, man. Hey, I already know what it is, man. Like you ain't gotta. I get it, man. So look, that Next to You project, man. It seemed like, now correct me if I'm wrong. It seemed like, you know, did Puff? Did he have? Was that more? Did he have more like a hands-on approach on that project? Because it sounded like the sound changed, but to me, it sounded like it changed in a good way. Because again, that's my favorite project. So talk to me about that.
No. What happened? Puff was so distraught. He was so hurt because he introduced me to Sonya. That was his girl, his baby mother, Misa. That was her best friend. So when Puff, funny quick story, we was in DC at Howard, and I had to do, Howard, and Puff was there. Me and Puff was in the same room, and Puff asked me, he said, yo, father, he's like, he in New York at this time. We're in New York, and he says, your father, listen, my girl's coming, but she's coming with her girl, and I want some time with Misa. You know what I mean? He's like, so could you just please with her girlfriend? I'm like, all right, whatever. All right. Man, I ain't never see Sonya a day in my life, right? Yeah. I go downstairs. We in the hotel. I go downstairs. I see Misa. So I hug Misa. Yo, what's up, Misa? She's like, okay, I did not know Sonya. I see Sonya. I'm like, I don't, now, mind you, I don't know this girl. It's Misa's girl. Yeah. So I see her. I get her number. I run back upstairs to Puff. I'm like, nigga, bet's off. I just met this chick money. Bet off. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you, right? Misa, they knock on the door. Yeah. I'm just like this, Puff. I'll meet the chick, but that's it. That's all. Yeah. Misa knocks on the door, and I open the door. I walk into the bathroom. As I open the door, I'm walking into the bathroom. I come out, and I see Sonya and Misa in our room. I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like trying to tell Puff, like, Puff, this is the girl I met downstairs I was telling you about. And he was so happy. And you talk about just at first sight.
I was just about to say that. Yeah.
First sight, it was like crazy, man. And it was crazy. It was crazy. I took her to Japan with me. Everything. Like we're going to Japan. It was crazy. Her brother Sonny, everybody, his sister.
Okay, so talk to me about this, man, because again, outside looking in, man, I vividly, again, I'm gonna say it again, sound like a broken record, I know, but I vividly remember that time. And here in DC, brother, you was like a god here, man. Yeah. And the girls they used to go crazy about you. Like when I dropped this video, man, my phone is about to be blowing up, man, because like I said, man, so the reason why I bring that up, man, so you settled down, man. You met this love of your life, man, and you settled down. What was it, man, about her, and what, the contrast from the road and finding this special woman, man? What made you realize, man, all this shit ain't what a lot of people think it is, man. I'm ready to go ahead and,
be honest with you, and I always say this, she understood the game. She understood I had that persona, that father. Before I met her, Father MC, women, ladies, man, sex symbol. So she understood that walking in, and I wasn't disrespectful. She understood that was a part of the game. And I have to explain I got to explain like, yo, it's just what it is. This is who I was before you. You get what I'm saying? I wasn't disrespectful. And once she understood that made me in my head, like, it ain't nothing out here I need, because I don't have to explain who I am. And I got to be somebody and keep explaining to you, yo, I'm not that dude. But when you explain man explains and got to explain it to a woman, it makes a man not want to go and do it, but it makes a man want to get, I don't have to go through this. You get what I'm saying? This is who I was. You just seeing me because you seeing me of like you seeing me and you can't take it. And I don't blame women that get caught up in relationships like this. They just not built for it. Everybody could say, if it was me, I could do it. But you ain't there until it really happens. You know what women are gonna say stuff to you. Women say stuff to me every day, all the time on Instagram and DMs and you gotta be strong for this game. You gotta be strong just because I'm not physically out with a record. I'm bigger than some of these artists that's doing platinum right now without no record out. I live.
Let's keep it a bean, Father MC. A lot of these guys that's popping right now, they'll never see some of the shit that you did. They'll never see some of the have the type of records that you had. Like that's just what it is, man. Because as big as they might think they are, brother, you can't erase history, and that's where my podcast. That's what I do. My platform is called Bridging the Generation, man. I want to preserve greatness, man. And in my world, brother, you a legend, and you can't take it. You can't take it away. You can't take it away. It was written, and that's it.
You know what Andre and Puffy and MCA and Bad Boy thing was, to me, they wanted to create superstars. They wanted, Andre and Puff wanted their artists to be known household names across the world, not around the block.
Right.
So that's what Andre and them concentrated on, and that's where Puff took the know-how and kept it going. Like he made Biggie the most world dude ever. He made Craig Mack. Puff. If you look at it like Bad Boy, I paid attention to Bad Boy structure. Like their records were just incredible. And when he had records that was just phenomenal, he had those phenomenal records. Look at Whoa, Black Rob. Look at Craig Mack, Flavor in Your Ear. Look at Juicy. Look at Who Shot Ya. Look at Total. Look at Faith Evans. I mean, you talking about brother who knows how to make records.
But do you think, after 2020 hindsight, as we look at all the Puff Daddy, Sean Combs that accomplished with his Bad Boy imprint, do you think he got that from Andre? Because if you look at the way Uptown was built.
Yes, like I said, he was molded by the best. Russell Simmons, Bob Davis, and all of them. Like shit, he was molded by them, and he did it the hardest way. He took bits and pieces of all of them and put it together, and that's what gave him the Bad Boy Baby. Like people don't realize Notorious B.I.G. was an Uptown artist.
People, I knew that.
Though. Realize that came from. You get what I'm saying? And Puppy would always be Uptown. He won't be Bad Boy to me. He will be Uptown. And Bad Boy is a part of his thing. But when I speak about Puff, I speak about Uptown, because that's who I was affiliated with when he was there.
Right.
Can I jump on a Bad Boy tour? Easy. You look at
so what is some of the I wanted to ask, not to cut you off, but I wanted to ask you this. So what is some of the similarities between Sean Combs and Andre Harrell, and what are some of the differences that you notice being around both artists, both guys?
Nothing. Everything's the same. It's just a different day. The new swag is Puff. Puff dresses his way for the new generation. Andre was a little more conservative, but still the same swag. As far as this generation is a little bit more money out there. It's more lucrative than it was back in the day, which everything
is. You think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why do you say that?
You can retire off of one single right now with the way the world is going and the way the game has changed. These artists can, I'm going to go grab 15 million and call it a day, where you couldn't back then. But also, when the Temptations were out, They couldn't do what I was doing. You get what I'm saying? And I can't do what these guys are doing right now. The bag is gotten $1 million. You get $1 million back, then you like, yeah, you the dude. Right now, $1 million ain't nothing for these new cats. I'm gonna go snatch this mill real quick and be easy.
Yeah.
That's it. That's why it's called the Billionaires Boys Club, and that's where I'm headed to. You know?
I know that's right. How you think you would fare in today's internet social media world, man? You know, because it's a whole new ball game from 1990, 91, and the way music is put out and promoted, and you know, how you think you would fare, man? Because I look at
you needed the record company. Right now, all you need is a marketing team. You need a marketing team, and your team, if they don't move like you might as well do it all yourself. Your team got to move like you and think like you. Like knowing that, this dude ain't going to go for that when I bring that to him. But they have to you get a marketing team that markets you consecutively, you're going to be big nowadays. You're going to.
Do you think like with all the, like a lot of times, man, people say, today they're, before I ask this question, would you consider Andre Harrell as a gatekeeper?
Yes.
Now, being that you now hold on. The reason why I asked that, because as I listen to a lot of the music today, because there's a lot of music that is released today, just so much. It's almost as oversaturated. Do you feel like maybe today having a gatekeeper may not be a bad thing?
Well, let me define.
Break it down.
Let me define being a gatekeeper. A gatekeeper is a man who has a vision and knowing what he's wanting to create, and he's not wanting to create someone that sounds the same and it's going to mock each other and have a house full of the same type of material. Every artist that Andre had their own thing. We all had our own thing, and we didn't sound the same. So when you put us out on tour together, we were the soundtrack to people's lives, and from the 90s to the middle 2000s. We were
today. What you talking about? I was just listening to Father's Day.
We made records, Dre. So we make records to be in someone's home in London. We wanted Germany to hear what Germany was talking about. We knew that we wanted to get the States. We wanted to get the harder critics. And when people say you go to London, they used to say, "Oh my God, you should be afraid of London." Back then, you should have been, because London was a hard critic. London was hard, but when they got you and they love you, I remember me stepping on Wembley Arena. I'm stepping on the stage. I did Wembley Arena like 7 times, like the Hippodrome. I did. No artist could really say I stepped on stage where Michael Jackson was on, and that's what thrilled me. That thrilled me.
That's crazy. You got artists today that's top 3, top 2 artists today has probably never stepped foot in Wembley ever.
Yeah, that's when you know.
I just had to say that, but continue.
Andre made records, and I think the staff also can't give it all up to Andre. You got to give it up to the Uptown staff, because Andre taught them, like with Bad Boy, Puff, and Harv Pierre. They taught these cats, like, dude, this is our company. We got to win. They had that mentality of, we have to win. It's no losing. It's no, why you ain't get this record? Why you ain't get this record? This record got to break this week. I need this record to break. Like,
didn't Eddie F come out of that camp too?
That was with Uptown, the Untouchables, all of that part of Uptown, all of that. Eddie F produced One Night Stand for me.
Yep.
Like, I mean, I told Eddie the type of records I want. When we went into the studio, I knew where my head was at. And on that Close to You album, and I dedicated that to Sonia. That's why I called it Close to You. I want to be close to you. If you listen to Close to You now, you'll get where I'm coming from, because I'm talking to her on that song. But that's why it was one of the last songs I've done on the Close to You album, is because I wanted to really know what I wanted to say. I wanted to get the right person on that record. And the right person to me, getting to know Intro and knowing Kenny Green, he he was there when I was making my record. So I was like, yo, let me try Kidney on this, Close to You. I knew the record I wanted to use. I want to thank you, Heavenly Father. And the way he ripped it so ill. It was like that. I wanted that soul, that
Yeah.
man, you know, he rocked that. See, and when I made records, I thought about tour. I thought about tour life. I thought
You had a good ear, man, for like let me say this. I hate to cut you off, man, but you had a great ear, man. Like when how did you go about, choosing beats, man? Like your beat selection. I always thought, like, when I listen to a Father MC album, it flows, man. It has like a nice flow to it. So explain to me.
I always wanted to be on that stage having a good time.
Cohesion. That's the word.
I didn't want to be holding my Johnson on, like, I'm not that artist. My artistry is me moving, making you move, making you like get down. Like, let's go. I'm not the artist that's gonna hold my crouch, and I'm not that dude. I'm not
mean mugging.
Yeah, I ain't that dude. Come on, let's have a good time. Put a smile on your face. Let's go. Come on. There's a whole bunch of chicks in here.
Everything's going to be all right.
Everything's going to be all right. We may have a one-night stand.
Yeah, man. It's that feel good music, man. And like I said, I love the cohesion of of your body of your bodies of work, because a lot of times we think of all these dope singles that you have, but I be trying to tell people, man, like, nah, Father made dope ass projects, man. You made dope projects, brother. So I want to talk about that. Like, we could go all night talk about every project, but this project I want to talk a little bit before we get out of here, man. But the sound of music is changing, man. Now it's 1995. Gangster rap is kind of like dominating the airwaves right now, man. You got Snoop, Dr. Dre, a lot of gangster rap is just all over the place, man, even in the East Coast. And then you drop another dope project, man. And has some of the at the time, these guys wasn't known as legendary producers, but now as we look back, these guys are legends now. And I'm talking about the Sex is Law project. Talk about the making of that one right there.
Sex is Law was like, I knew the growth, and I knew, like you said, that the gangster rap was coming in and all of that, right? At one point, I was like, I want to go there, but then I was like, I'm already Father. I'm getting ready to talk to the women some more, but I'm gonna let them know I'm grown. I'm a little older, a little sexier. Let's get the weight up. So I went to Teddy Riley this trip. I said, I want to go. I went to Teddy, and that's when I first met Little Kim at Teddy Riley's studio, and she was dealing with Tyrone Fife. He was a producer on the album. And Top Five. And Ty's crazy. Ty is my guy. He's crazy though. He said, anyway. But anyway, she was with her mother, and I met her mother out there and everything, and we hit it off, and I was the first one to put Little Kim on a record. Like, I put her on the record. Once she gets pumping, it's hard to make the hottie stop. And I'm looking at this little beautiful young thing, and I'm just like, okay, but she was Ty's girl, so I couldn't do nothing. I went home. We was at this thing in New York. They had this thing called Nels, and Kim saw me, and I had just bought the Range Rover, and Kim saw me. I'm parking. I'm getting out, and I seen Kim. She had a little uptown look with the jeans, the fitted jeans, the little curl, but she was gorgeous, gorgeous. Me and Kim, we talking, and Kim was
before the Junior Mafia album. This before that?
Yeah, way before. Yeah. And Kim, when she used to come to my house, the crazy part is, this is crazy. Craig Mack had Flavor in Year going nuts. The record was going nuts. Me and her used to argue, and she would just tell me, Biggie's going to be bigger than everybody for. And I used to be like, dude, this nigga's record is 4 million on a single right now. What the hell you talking? She's like, I'm telling you. And Biggie was my guy. But she always was Team Biggie, and she was so freaking right, man. Anyway, I went to Teddy Riley, and He gave me the beat. I told him what type of record I wanted. He gave me a beat, and I hated 69. I remember it was the last day.
You bugging. You bugging, yo, 60. You bugging. I'm sorry, yo. I can't hold that in, yo. 69. Go ahead. I apologize.
I'm about to give it to you. So I take the record home. And I'm listening to it. I'm upstairs in my house, and my pool was downstairs, and my stepdad and my crew were helping my dad put the lights on. And someone said, we should have a party. Tricky, my dancer, said, yo, we should have a party. I was like, that's all right. We could have a little small something. Man,
yeah.
Wendy Williams, she gets on, she hears about it and starts like from the party was Saturday. We getting it ready like Tuesday. She's like, I'm having a party. Next thing you know, she goes on radio and says Father she's having a party. Next thing you know, I'm in Far Rockaway at the liquor store getting liquor for the party. I saw signs, like people made signs to directions of my house. You got people, and I'm in an all-white area, all-white neighborhood, only black guys. Right? You got the whole Far Rockaway, Queens, Brooklyn, Uptown, parking on these white people's manicured lawns and everything. People had a blast. They ain't never seen that many black people in their life, and it was all good. And they came into the crib, and it was crazy. Not one incident. Not one. They talked about that. They talked about that party
to this day.
I was like, I couldn't write 69. I get back to Virginia, and Teddy had to go overseas or something. So it was the last time for me to get this record.
And so you recorded that? You recorded that in his studio
in the future, in Virginia.
Yeah.
So we went there. Teddy rented out all of these ski jets. He said, "Get the radio." So I'm thinking we going in. Man, had a little tent and all of these Hampton chicks from Hampton College, and I had to write. They on water skis and everything, and I'm writing. So that's how I wrote. They said, "What you want to talk about?"
That's the
first thing that right will come to mind. I said, "Fuck it, I want to hit you with a 69." Yeah, I got to hit you with a 69. I was like, "I'm horny." I admit it. I get psycho when I'm licking. I'm poking up other words. I'm sticking. Boom.
That was the shit.
Go back.
Yeah.
Place it. Got back. Puff, Andre. Puff running around the office. Oh my God. Dre's just looking like, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Boom. Over.
That was the shit. Yeah. I was about to say, man, you got to explain this one to me because I was 11 going to 12th grade when that came out, and man, you couldn't tell me nothing, man. That one right there.
I brought down the Apollo so bad with that record, I'll never forget, man. I mean, that Apollo, damn, I thought the stage was gonna break the way, and it's the first time I'm doing it for the world on the Apollo, and the women went absolutely berserko. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
A lot of like I said, man. I ain't even really know what that was, man, until that song, man, because I was a late bloomer, man. But around that time, that's when I started. I'm like, okay. But like I said, man, being a young man and that song, man, and the music, with like that should take me back, man. And Teddy, bro, he blessed you on that one, brother. He blessed you on that one.
Yes.
He definitely blessed you.
And all of that other stuff, yeah.
So then we got, we also got the R&B swinger, man. You got Pete Rock.
With Pete Rock.
Like how the hell, how'd you get Pete Rock on a Father MC project, man?
I went to Pete and I went to Mount Vernon, Heavy D, and that's Hev's cousin, God bless Hev. And I said, I want to get something because he had just did that record, like You Down with the Kings with Run DMC.
Run DMC, yes sir.
I was like, oh my gosh, I need that flavor, man. I need that boop.
Yeah.
I went to Pete. Pete said he made the record like in 10 minutes, like all jokes aside. It was like we in this space, and he just was like boo, 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 boo. And then he started playing with it. I was like, that's it. I said, let's go. Give me something to look to. I'll see you in a minute, man. We did the record. It was crazy. Crazy, man. We had some joints, man. Damn. Crazy.
Yeah, man. So that was your last project on Uptown Records, man. So, as Uptown is kind of and it's crazy, man, because when I think back, man, I hate to even ask you this question because I really don't see a demise, but it seemed like you guys went like eventually Uptown closed its doors, man. And what was that all about? Because you guys still had Soul For Real, they still had you, Heavy D. What was it like, man?
They didn't. What happened?
Jodeci. Talk about it, man.
Andre got a deal with Motown, and the deal with Motown was $60 million. Oh shit! So Dre had to let go of Uptown. He couldn't have Uptown no more. So he passed it to Heavy D. Heavy D bought Soul For Real and Monifa, and that was. And then next thing you know, MCA wasn't giving the love to Uptown the way they was giving the love to Andre. And
a relationship.
Andre had years of a relationship. And then Dre sent all of us to Motown. So, Heavy had to be left with a whole new crew. He had to hire a whole new staff. He had to get all new talent. And that's when he hit with Soul For Real. And he hit with Monifa. And then old boy came. Oh man, dang. What's his name?
McGriff.
Not McGriff. McGruff was on Bad Boy.
I thought McGruff was on Uptown. McGruff was on Uptown.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he was. He was on Uptown. It didn't work. It was Heavy's boy, McGruff, right. It didn't go as far as they wanted it to go. So MCA started holding back. When a company don't want you to win, they start pulling back their dough. And that you need the dough to go. When Andre was going in there saying, I needed some checks, them checks was getting cut.
Yeah.
The gatekeeper, the one that was keeping the lights on at MCA. Crazy.
Them relationships, it seems like they go a long way, man. Being that.
Key.
Yeah. And then a lot of people, we forget, man, Heavy D was he was a young guy, man. He's only like 25, 26 years old.
And Hev was
so I don't think MCA probably didn't look at him.
Uptown. He was giving me Uptown. And he gave it to Heavy because Heavy was his first artist. And I'm loyal. He had to. And I got it and I understood it. Because I was ready to jump into those shoes. You get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if I would have, who knows? I can't even say if I would have did it better or it would have been a whole different feel. But I had my type of thing that I saw Uptown going in a whole different direction.
Now let's talk about that, man. Talk about that. What would you have done different? Just, what's some of the things? Because it seemed like, man, you still had Jodeci. You still had Hev, you still had you.
Nothing different. I wouldn't. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You get what I'm saying? I think Hev did an extraordinary job with Soul For Real, being the breakout team of coming out and the new CEO. I think that was incredible. A little group that sounds like the Jackson 5, and they were young. I love them. Crazy. I thought that was sexy. Then Monifa, that's his Mary J. Blige of what he's bringing to the table. I had a fortress too, though. I had a group called 5 Deep that I was bringing to the table. I had Sharissa that I was bringing, and it would have been a whole different little setup. It would have been a whole different setup, but it would have been up there.
Horace Brown, that's what I was trying to think of. Horace Brown,
my guy. Horace Brown, my guy. That's my guy, Horace Brown.
Y'all had some artists, man, and I always wondered, like I said, I'm finishing high school around this time, and I always wondered, like what happened, man? Like it just seemed like it didn't seem like the music it didn't seem like the creativity of the music or the quality, it didn't dwindle. It still was high quality music, and it just seemed like that was it. And so how was that?
MCA, like I say, when the record label was like I'm dwindling, they dwindled. And I don't think they were in full support of Hev, really. I don't believe so. I don't think they were really, giving him the support he needed.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I mean, Hev came with hits. He came with hits. He didn't backfire. He didn't shotgun. He came with hits. You couldn't front on So For Real. You couldn't front on Monifa. You couldn't. It's just that I think companies get used to who they used to dealing with and used to dealing with in a certain way.
Those relationships.
Yeah. And I don't think they were ready to move the way Heavy was trying to make them move. It's hard when you an artist transforming and transitioning into a CEO and having to deal with corporate. You can't bring your homeboys in all the time. You have to understand who you are and the position that you're taking to understand the moves that you're making.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying? So it's a political game.
So let's just say you decided to step into those shoes. Would you have been willing to relinquish that title or that position of being an artist for that?
I was ready. I was ready. I've done it. Been there, done it.
Well, did you think you have been able to do both?
I would have been able to do both, but I was really focused on ready to step into a new shoe position, which meaning I was ready to throw on my shoes and slacks and say, let's go to work. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Yeah.
I was a threat. I was a threat. And I take that and I'll take it. I was a threat because like you're going to see now, like in 10 seconds, you're about to see now. Like I got my baby girl, Brienne. I think she's a crazy threat to the market. I think like she's just a beautiful soul spiritually. Like her voice makes me melt, man. And that's crazy. My favorite artist today, Faith Evans, Kelly Price. Hands down. Hands down. Soulful. Really sing that. I want to just make you cry.
Yeah.
Get it.
That's what's missing.
You have.
What do you think? What do you think made Uptown so special, man?
So we were lookers. We had soul. The dress. You looked at us when we went out. You looked at us. I wanted to be a part of them. I want to be a part of them. I'll never forget when I used to go to Uptown and see people sleeping out to want to be signed to Uptown. That was like the Motown. We were the Motown. We were the young new Motown on the block.
Yeah.
Sexy. We were glorified. We had style. We had the swagger. We had the it factor. Other labels was turning out hit records, but we were the record company. We were it. We were the soundtracks that niggas. I got people saying to me all day, like, yo, man, oh my God, your records have me. I got my kids because of your records.
Yeah, that's facts.
I got the listening to you. Like it's funny, like it's crazy. And like certain records I think about, like when records like Secret Lover, good for instance. I remember what I was doing when Secret Lover was out. You get what I'm saying? Like people tell me, I remember where I was at when I'll Do For You came. When One Night Stand, when Treat 'Em Like Perfection, Lisa Baby, 65, I Beat You, Why You Ain't Call Me Back.
Yeah.
I mean, the list goes on, man.
Like I said, I got that shit I got it for my birthday. I got their Father's Day for my birthday. So I remember it.
Right.
On cassette.
Right. Wow.
On cassette.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So what are some of your fondest memories, man, when you think back to Uptown, man? What are some of your fondest memories?
seeing Dre laugh. I used to love when he laughed because I used to always be like the little comedian at the office,
Yeah.
and I used to be like, somebody's getting fired. Especially like when they break records or when they had a hard time breaking the records, I'd be the one that's in there making jokes.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'd be the one making jokes. It was just fun, man. Uptown was fun, man. Just the record company itself was just fun. It was fun, but it's nothing like you being a part of something when you getting money, you young, you black, you getting paper, and you enjoying what you doing. Going on tour, the tour bus, you know, the life on the road was crazy. You know, your team, you pick your team, you paying these guys, you responsible for them. I took like 15 dudes around the world, and I was responsible.
Man.
I was responsible for their health, their security, them, you know, their hotel, their airfare, you know, paying them. You know, it's a lot to this thing. It's not, you know, you're a company, no matter how you look at it, because you're employing people and you're paying them. You get what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy.
What is some of your? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm saying I'm so fortunate that I was able to take a lot of people that never would have probably in their life saw half the things they saw with my experience. You know,
right? No doubt. So I know that you just mentioned you mentioned this artist, man. You know, we go fast forward to the present, and you know, I remember you dropped your last album in I believe 2003, and then you know you said, man, that's it. You know, so what made you kind of like?
My dad
kind of made you just, you know, just take it easy, man, with the music, man, and just leave it alone.
Well, first of all, my dad passed, and then it really hit me, and then I really wanted to go and visit a lot of places I've been and wasn't able to have fun that I really enjoyed, and that's what I did. Then I moved to Atlanta and just start having fun. Man. Like, just enjoying it. And the strip clubs, you know, it was crazy.
Now, when were you in Atlanta? Because I was living in Atlanta around that time. You know, 2003. I stayed out. I was in Atlanta from 2003 to 2008.
I don't know, Jay. No, I was there for like 14 years though. I was there for 14 years. I was doing it in Atlanta. Oh my God, I was doing it. Jesus.
Hold on. Time out, man. I hate to be that guy. And I don't know, have you been asked this question in an interview, but weren't you married to Theresa Randall?
Never.
Why does Google says that?
Because Google lies. The internet is full of shit.
Do you know that though? Have anyone ever brought that to you?
Man, I ain't never been married to that chick, man. I ain't never. me and Teresa did date. We did date for a few. You know what I mean? I think what happened was we went to this affair, this red carpet affair. And, you know, to this day.
I hate to be that guy, man. I'm sorry.
No, you ain't got to be. I ain't mad at that. I wear this ring. I bought this ring. And I gained weight. I gained a little weight. So I took it off. It couldn't fit my pinky, and I put it right there. And everybody said I'm married. But at the end of the day, listen, if I was, I'd be like, yeah, it was, and it was what it was. But I wasn't. Me and Teresa was buddies. We were cool, but we were better off single and separated. But never. I ain't got a bad thing to say about her. But she crazy. But you know. I like Teresa. I like Teresa a lot, and I really don't. You know what it was that she was every guy's fantasy.
Yeah, I was about to say, man. It was, to me as a youngin, it was her and Karen White to me.
Yeah, dude, I ain't gonna front, dude. When I first saw her at the Century Club, the way I stepped to her was like, yo, cut. I got to. I saw that movie. I was like, I got to. I'm sorry.
Which one? Which movie? We talking about Sugar Hill?
Girl 6 did it for me.
Girl 6. Yeah, the voice.
Well, yeah. She had some choice, man. And she was a cool individual. I think she did. She was cool, very sophisticated, very
What's up?
like
Okay.
If I did it, I probably would have been forced to be married.
Hey, it's still up on the internet, man. It's still up on the internet. And I told myself, I said, man, don't ask him that question, man. Don't ask him that.
Teresa was a good girl, and I respect her, but nah, we never was married. Never. Like I said, we went out to this function, and there was 2 securities, a girl and a guy, and they said, "Oh my God, Father MC and Teresa Randall married." Yeah, that's how the rumors start, and that's how they go. And people want to believe the internet, so I let them. Let me tell you something. I heard 4 months ago I was homeless, and there was a guy. Now this is the crazy shit. There's a guy on the internet saying he's homeless, but he never says Father MC. It just says he has a beef with Puffy. First of all, me and Puff never had a beef, never. So the internet, but they said he's in a shelter. Yeah, I'm in a $3.5 million mansion right here. Dude, at the end of the day, the thing that bugged me out was he was showing himself, his face. Showing him saying, "Yo, man, Puff owe me money and all of this stuff." I'm like, "Why, dude? Y'all could clearly, y'all know, man. Yeah, y'all know the people that know me though. Was homeless, nigga. Do I look homeless?" But at the end of the day, that's what it does. And you got to understand when you get in this game, you got to take the good and you got to take the bad, and you got to rock and roll with it. And I accept it. I accept it.
You knew what you knew what you signed up for.
Yeah, I knew what I signed up for. And it's gonna be this new album, Black Disney. It's gonna be a whole bunch of more stuff. And at the end of the day,
let's talk about that, man. Let's get a little bit into that before we get out of here, man. Because I'm when I interview an artist, man, I do my research. And with you, I didn't have to do too much research because I'm already a fan. I've been a fan for over 30 years. But I'm looking at the Instagram page and I see you got some singles, man. You got some dope new songs, man. That New Money Smell, Till the Wheels Fall Off. You got some joints, man. You still got it, man. So talk about that, man, as far as age and hip hop, man, because a lot of times artists get older, man, and in hip hop, we don't preserve our legends like other genres do. So tell me what's your take on that, man, because from what I'm hearing, brother, you still sound amazing to me.
Man, what I decided when I decided to take a break, man, and I knew what I was doing, one thing I said to myself, I'm not gonna fall off and I'm gonna stay current, and I'm not gonna be one of these artists that turn into a bum. So what I did was I started investing early in my career. So if I didn't want to do this, I still have revenue coming in. So people want to know, how you in a $3.5 million? How are you doing all this? How are you doing? You could want the cars, and I did have the cars, as Father MC, but you could want all of that. But I worked being Father MC, and I put away. Put away for a rainy day is real, but I put away for investment rainy days. So that's what made it make sense. And then I'm a street dude. I knew, do what you got to do sometimes to do what you got to do. And that's
I gotta say no more. Yeah, I get it.
I mean, I knew I wasn't.
And I say this because I'm not one of the type of podcasts. I'm not really into the sensationalism, man. Like I don't even, to be honest, brother, the amount of love and respect that I have for you and admiration, man, that I have, I don't even really like to bring up these rumors and stuff, man, because to me it's almost insulting asking you some of these things, man. So
I love the consistency of the bullshit. I love it because if it's consistent, someone is talking. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I
got some other stuff that people, I'm not even gonna bring that shit up because I'm talking to my partner. He's like, "Yeah, you hear so and so and so." I'm like, "Nigga, you bugging, bro. Stop it, bro."
Dude, let me tell you something. I'm about to drop an album. I'm about to drop some crazy shit, and I'm expecting it all. Like with the good comes bad, and you just got to sit there and absorb it. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
At the end of the day, I make this album is telling the story. I think it's telling what people want to know.
Gotcha.
And certain records, if you listen lyrically, if you listen to it, it's explaining whatever you inconsistent with or consistent with. It's gonna you're gonna hear it from the horse's mouth at the end of the day.
No doubt. Now, I also noticed, man, that you have an artist, man. You know this. Like I said, I heard the artist that you just mentioned, but you have an artist. Is her name Passion? Is that
Passion? That's my girl too. That's my baby girl as well.
Man, and you wrote and produced a song from her called "Belong to Me," which is fire, man. So tell me what you saw in this girl as far as making you want to align yourself with this young talent.
I met Pash, and me and Pash hit it off from the gate. You get what I'm saying? And she was coming in. My guy introduced me to her, and she came in, and me and her just hit it off. And then when I heard her, it was just over. I was like, it's over. It's over. And we're working on her project right now as we speak. And I just got off the phone with her like earlier. We were just talking about the direction we're gonna go in and how we're gonna definitely attack the situation and do it. She's very humble, very, very beautiful soul, beautiful person. Like, you know what I mean? She's a beautiful woman too. When she's good on the eye, so when brothers see her, they gonna want her. That's for one thing. Right. They gotta want her because they want her now. When she not, nothing, like she no celebrity. Then, Passion, Tiffany Wright too is dope. My girl Tiffany, okay. we're gonna build her up. But my priorities right now are Passion and Brienne.
Okay.
Two totally different voices, two totally different albums, in two totally different directions that they're gonna go.
Okay, and we should be expecting that in 2021. What we looking?
Early 2021. Passion, you should be expecting in another 2 to 3 months. Single dropping.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
So when we supposed to be expecting that new Father MC project, man? Because it's been 18 years, man. It's been 18 years, and you teasing us with these songs, man. You got a whole different flow, man. But it ain't sounding like these young boys. It ain't sounding like the old guys from back in the day. It's still Father MC, but it's a new twist, man. So talk about that and talk about when you're ready to drop this project, man.
Well, we're gonna drop in like a couple of months because we have the Uptown movie that they're shooting. That's on with BET. It's a 3 mini-part series. We have me and Jimmy Jenkins have this thing called, and Jannard Parker, Uptown Beyond, where he's the ex-president of Uptown. We got together and we interviewed so many people that knew Andre Harrell. So that's coming. And then we have Black Disney that's coming. Then I have it's in the works as we speak. I can't really talk a lot about it, but it's a thing. It's a reality show, but it's let's just say this. Did you enjoy I know the world enjoyed Flavor of Love.
Of course. It was entertaining.
So just put
and I don't even care for them type of shows, but I like that.
Father of Love is coming.
Oh, Father shit.
Yeah, and I can give you this. My manager, he wants it to be some like sophisticated, cool. I want it to be exactly what it is. Father of Love. You got 20 girls in Atlanta, 20 girls in LA. So I'm torn between LA and Atlanta. And then New York into the way. And these are all different cultural type of women. You got Spanish, you got Latino, you got blacks, you got Supreme Puffs, you got some everything. We may have a couple of midgets, not midgets, little.
Yeah, we got to be politically correct. Nah, that's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up.
All women. I'm just gonna say it like this. All women. All women.
Yeah. So look, Father, being in the game for, over 30 plus years, man, what would you like your legacy to be, man? Because I can tell you what I think your legacy is, but I would like to hear from you, man. What would you like your legacy to be?
All the recognized talent, man. And I put out not only hit records, but I also had a slew of artists that are still relevant as we speak. And that I just kept it 1,000, whether you like what you hear or you don't. I don't have a reason to front or lie. Like, if you ask me a question, I'm just going to tell you. And if you like it, you like it. And if you don't, you don't. Yeah.
Right,
I mean,
right.
It is what it is. But I'm just a loyal dude, man. You loyal to me. I'm going to keep it loyal with you. And let's just rock and roll and get this paper.
No doubt, man. It seemed like it, talking to you, brother, man. And this, like I said, this is probably I've done damn near 40 interviews, man. This is probably one of my most enjoyable, man, because these are the ones I really get up for. Because you were someone that I looked up to, man. A lot of the artists that I interview, I'm the OG, but you my OG. you my OG. You who I remember being a kid and putting on my suit and having my little high top fade and trying to look like you and everything, man. So this is an honor, man, just being able to talk to you, brother, and knowing all that you have contributed to the culture, man. So again, Father, it's been an honor. It's been a pleasure, man. You got anything else you would like to add, brother, before we get out of here?
I'd just like to say thanks for having me, man, and representing, and you keep doing what you do, because you giving the ear for people to listen and hear, to see where everything is at in the music thing too, man. And you keeping hip hop and R&B alive as well. So I applaud you and your whole team and everybody that's rocking with you to make you possible. You get what I'm saying? And thank you. If everybody that want to get in touch, man, I'm at The Real Father MC, my Instagram, Twitter, The Real Father MC, Facebook, same thing. So y'all get at me. And I do answer back though, for real. And if I don't, then hit Jay up, my manager, Jay Brady at Instagram. Jay Brady one, I think so. And I look forward to y'all, man. Just look out for Black Disney. It's coming. Hopefully sooner than later, but it's definitely coming.
Thank you, man. Again, it's been an honor, man. The one, the only, the legend, Father MC, Bridging the Generation podcast, man. And we out of here. Have a good night, brother.
Peace. Good night, brother. Thank you.
All right. It's been a pleasure. All right. Boom.